Thanks for staying with us. Now, some assembly members of the Cape Coast Metro Assembly, together with traders at the Kotokoraba market, are protesting against what they call an unfair distribution of the market stalls. The aggrieved group are accusing the coordinators of the project of discrimination. According to them, the market stalls have been given to families and friends of the NPP, whilst the names of the original occupants of the old Kotokoraba markets have been deleted. Joy News' Richard Kojonyako was at a press briefing organized by the aggrieved traders and some assembly members this morning and has joined us via Skype with more. So, Richard, what exactly are the traders and assembly members demanding?
Well, you know that the old market was demolished about a year ago, and a new one was built. And after it was built and commissioned by former President John Dramani Mahama, a group of traders went to the Cape Coast High Court to seek an injunction. It was successful, and so an injunction was placed on the sharing of the market. Now, a new government comes to office, and then they start the distribution. But when they went to court, the court gave them a roadmap as to how to share, the stores, and they told them that the older part of the Kotokoraba market should have a fair share in the distribution of the market. But it turns out that this is not the case. And so this morning there was a news conference that has been addressed by some concerned assembly members of the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly, and they were heavily supported by some market women who were also clad in red armbands and red outfits. I've got Justice George Atta here, and Justice George Atta was the one who addressed the news conference. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So what is in this news conference?
Actually, like you are saying, there are so many concerns that you raised last time when we had the press conference. That was last Friday. And today we were waiting for the regional minister, Kwame Duncan, and the MC to actually address our concerns. They didn't. So we decided that today we should have another press conference just to actually tell Ghanaians that they are not trying to address our concerns. One of the major concerns is that the market women who were already occupying the market have been expunged, replacing it with illegal ones, those who haven't even sold anything in the market before, replacing it with them. And
what evidence do you have?
Oh, I can access of the names. We have the list that effect, the document that effect. One of the persons is MP for Cape Coast North, that is Barbara Asha. She was not an old occupant or original occupant, yet she has been given. So some of these, and you have to make examples of all those people. There are more than 72 illegal occupants who have been released, and they are supposed to be MPP members.
And you said that it's an economic oppression and it's against the rights of these people. Why do you say that?
Yeah, because we even actually show you a letter to actually buttress our point, which is indicating that the Metro Assembly has issued directives, and the directives are compulsory directive to the illegal occupiers that they should move to the market. That was last Friday. Otherwise, they will lose their place. And if they lose their place, they are going to actually give the back to someone else who we all illegal occupiers. So we are saying that doing that, you can't attach it with compulsion. If you actually do that, you are trying to infringe upon the rights of the people. What opaque motive do you have actually to give this compulsory directives?
Thank you very much. So the indication is that tomorrow there's going to be a demonstration, and they have indicated that the market women and some of the assembly members should come with snaps and eggs. They are going to rain curses on the authorities, and they mentioned the regional minister, the Metro Assembly, as why they are denying them a share in the sharing of the market stores at the new Kotokoraba.
Right, Richard, have you been speaking with the coordinators in charge of the distribution of the stalls, and how have they been responding to these accusations?
Well, I went to the Metro Assembly to inquire. What they told me was that, they are not enough. They have exhausted the stores at the Kotokoraba market. And so those who are complaining that they were old occupants of the Kotokoraba market, I mean, they did not have any opportunity of owning any of the stores. And so that is what they tell me. But according to them, I mean, they've done the distribution according to what they were mandated to do. So there seems to be some confusion and some conflict as regarding the distribution of the market stores.
Thank you very much, Richard Kojonyako, for that report. He's our man in the Central Region, bringing us the latest on that issue concerning the distribution of stores at the Cape Coast market. Now, back to Accra now, where the Greater Accra Regional Police Command is interrogating the 15 people arrested in connection with the shooting incident at La Paz that claimed the life of a policeman and caused injury to another. The suspects include a 27-year-old female Charity Otubwa, who is a trader, 6 Nigerians and 8 Ghanaians. And now the arrests were made by a combined team of detectives from the Criminal Investigations Department CID headquarters and the Accra Regional Command at different locations in Accra after picking up intelligence and tip-offs. The locations include Ablekuma, Olebu and Kasua. Police are also in possession of the unregistered Hyundai Elantra car that was snatched by the robbers at the scene of the incident, which was abandoned at Olebu. They say empty shells and an unregistered Royal motorbike were also retrieved from the suspects. The suspects are currently being interrogated to find out all the persons involved in the robbery at La Paz, as well as the subsequent killing of Constable Daniel Owusu and the injury of Constable Al-Hassan Jibril. The shooting incident occurred near the Las Palmas restaurant at La Paz in Accra last Thursday. The suspects abandoned their motorbike and headed towards Kaswa in the Central Region in an unregistered saloon car they snatched from a driver who also happened to be at the crime scene. Now, the police administration earlier placed a 10,000 Ghana cedi bounty on the 2 suspected armed robbers last Friday. We'll be bringing you all the latest on this issue in our subsequent bulletins. Back to the Central Region now, where angry fishermen in the Gomoa West district of that region have threatened to storm the Flagstaff House and Parliament naked if the Ministry of Fisheries fails to provide them with premixed fuel.
The agitated fishermen gave the president up to Friday to call persons in charge to order, else they will shove their manhood of various sizes in their faces. They gave the threat during an interview with Adom News.
Yes, premise be a phone couple. Premise be 3 months.
All his promises are unfulfilled. This is because we don't get premise to go fishing. We are in the fishing season, and if we don't get the premise, we can't work. We are calling on Nanado to fulfill his promises by providing the premise, else we will demonstrate. We are suffering. We can't even take care of our kids in school. We haven't received premise for the past months. We don't know why. If there is anything we have done, we should be informed so we can apologize. We are really suffering, and our children are also suffering.
Meanwhile, the 2014 Best Fisherman from Central Region, Nana Ekopenin, has called for the dismissal of the chairman of the National Premix Fuel Committee, Neelan Tebanaman. He warned that the NPP will lose the 2020 election if the president fails to sack him.
We can't tell whether Bameman is for NDC or NPP. It's been less than a year since his appointment, and see what he's doing already. If he can't perform his job, Akufo-Addo should remove him and appoint someone who, because the fishermen in the Central Region are really suffering and it's making life difficult.
So NDC won't, so NPP won't, so CPP won't. Now, Ontuma Mama, Jumezina, Nangasawabama, or Wapam there, upon Botuma Fanetam Pefra, another Central Region, Botuma Fanetam Pefra, Ontuma Fanetam Pefra.
Kofi Ejoy's report for Joy News.
Now, Information Minister Mustafa Hamid says the president will outline achievements of his government in the last 6 months tomorrow. Now, selected journalists and media practitioners will tomorrow engage the president on a wide range of issues. Mr. Hamid tells presidential correspondent Elton Brobe the president is composed and ready for the media package. We have Elton Brobe on the line. Elton, if you can hear me, what are some of the details of what the president will be presenting tomorrow?
Well, from what we've been told, this is a media encounter. So, according to the Information Minister, President Akufo-Addo will deliver a statement, after which the media practitioners who've been invited to participate in tomorrow's program will be given the opportunity to ask a question each. Now, the program is going to be moderated by the Information Minister, so he will now decide who to call and who to answer, who to ask a question. But what I've been told is that it's not going to be an open program where anybody at all can just walk in. They've sent out invitation letters to some selected media practitioners and journalists. So these individuals are expected to be at the banquet hall of the State House tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. for the program to start. And these individuals are the ones, if they have questions to ask the president, they'll be given the opportunity to do so. There is no limit as to what they can ask. As a matter of fact, they are hoping to hear questions from Delta Force, all the issues that have characterized the 6 months administration of President Akufo-Addo. And so this is how it's going to be. After the formal introduction by the president, after his formal address, then the floor will be open for media practitioners. Those who are desirous to ask questions will be asked to step forward and ask their question. And so the president will be given the opportunity to respond to all that questions.
Do we have any idea how many media houses have been invited?
For information I'm picking, apart from those who report directly from the president, that's the presidential press call, there are about 30 to 40 media practitioners and some identifiable groups at the Ghana Journalists Association, and then, a host of morning programs, talk show programs and all that. These individuals have been invited. And indeed, it's not restricted to the public, the private, and, even media houses considered hostile to the presidency. All of them have been invited. But from what I've been told, if you are not, if you've not been invited, you don't have access to them, which means that those who are on the list are those who will be entitled to walk into the room and ask questions if they so have.
Now, from what I'm picking, it's going to be a strictly media affair. Are we expecting anyone from civil society perhaps in attendance?
Not that I know of. From what I've been told, this is just a media encounter with the president. So only media practitioners and journalists. And to be more specific, those who've been given invitation letters are the ones are expected to be at the banquet hall of the State House to ask questions. That is, if they have. If you don't have an invitation, my information is that you will not be allowed to go through, the security checkpoints before eventually ending up in the banquet hall. So it is strictly a media encounter between and the president and his ministers as well.
Right. And thank you very much, Elton John Brobe, for that update. And of course, we will be bringing you a minute-by-minute telecast of what will be happening at the presidency tomorrow. Now, we still have so much more for you on Joy News today. Do not go away. We'll be taking you to Savelugu Nantong in the northern region, where pupils there begin their regular day by cleaning their classrooms from cow dung. Stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the deplorable state of classrooms in the Savelugu Nantong Municipal Assembly in the northern region continues to affect the enrollment figures among primary school pupils in the area. One of the most affected schools is the Diari Al Hussein English and Arabic Primary School, where pupils have to spend the first few hours of their class sessions to clean cow dung from their thatched roof structures, which serve as classrooms. On Joy News Agenda, a northern region correspondent Hamid Mohammed traveled to Diari and reports that parents are afraid to send their children to school.
voices of pre-primary pupils of Diare Al Hussein English and Arabic Primary School being led by their teacher to sing and praise God to avert rainfall that can disrupt their class session. The school children learn under a structure built of tree stumps and roof with zinc work on by the community members. Rusty nails in the school building and roofing sheets can no longer hold the tree stumps firmly together, exposing children in the school to danger. Al-Hassan Memunatu, a class 6 pupil of the school, tells Joy News the situation in the school makes learning difficult for them.
We cannot learn well in this structure. We spend much time cleaning animals' feces every day. We also close when it starts raining.
The bad structure of the school is just part of the problems of the school. Inadequate classroom block also compels teachers of the school to combine 2 classes in 1 classroom block. Headmaster of the school, Deshine Abdallah Mustafa, says parents hold onto their children in the house with a least clouds of threats of rains for fear that the rains could possibly wash down the classrooms.
I think our main challenge of the school is the structure. See the way the structure is. The children don't want to come to school for the fear of being mocked at in the community. Most of them have stopped coming to school, and when they even come, learning is ineffective and teaching is very ineffective. When it threatens to rain, you close early. We just when the rain is coming, we just close, and then maybe we'll go home, and then the rain will not come again. So when we come back to the community, we will only get some few children to come back to school. So the structure is really our major problem. And even animals, domestic animals, when we just close, they also take over the structure. And the following day, we'll spend much time in cleaning animal remains before classes will start. Because the children are afraid to come to school because of the nature of the structure. Their colleagues in other schools usually mock at them. They tease them, and for the fear of that tease, they don't want to come to school, only to be mocked by their colleagues.
In 2012, the District Assembly awarded a contract for the construction of a new 6-unit classroom block for the community, but that has been abandoned by the contractor at foundation stage, making weed to take over the site. For Joy News, Hashmin Mohammed reports from DRE.
Now, getting access to tractor services in some communities in the northern belt of the country is difficult. The communities have no choice than to remain with the traditional methods of plowing using hoes or bullocks. The latter, however, is what they now rely on most to plow their lands. For the bullocks to work effectively on the farms, they need to be well catered for, including having access to veterinary services. However, they have little or no access to veterinary services. Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam visited Nandonko to see for himself how farmers are grappling with the situation.
If you have any feeling or thought that the use of bullock for plowing is a thing of the past due to the introduction of heavy farm machines and special tractor services, you have to quickly abandon that thought or feeling. Located in the Nondom district of the Upper West region is one such community who are not prepared to change their old ways and heavily rely on the services of these animals. Even though the community is predominantly a farming community, getting access to tractor or paying for its services is difficult. They are, however, aware that plowing with a tractor is quicker than using the animals. Chief of Co, NYP Coordinator, propounded reasons why they are addicted to using blocks for plowing.
The tractor will go too deep into the soil, and that will get the fertile soil far into the ground. So the yield is not as great as when the blocks get this thing. And now with the block plowing too, it's cheaper to get the block plowing because you rear the blocks, then you plow with it, then it can still also give you manure. So with the manure, you will not even get that fertilizer to buy. So with the blocks too, you are able to get this manure to fertilize your thing. You get it to farm for you, and then it is also economical in a way that you don't pay so much for the services. The tractor too, when it comes out, you have a lot of people going for it. And now it is easier. He can, now that he's doing it, he does it at his own time. The time you need a tractor, you may not get it. But this time like this, anytime he wants to plow, he just puts his plow on the blocks on the farm, and they're doing the work.
Despite the ease at which they work with the bullocks, they're unable to get veterinary services for them. As a result, the animals grow lean and weak and unable to plow. Thomas Guo owns and operates bullocks here at Ko.
I need to quarry. I tell it to me on now. To me on anything.
Taking care of the bullocks is very difficult. There is a particular drug we give to them for them to grow fat and have strength in order to plow for us. We struggle to get the money to buy the drug. Money is hard to come by these days. We will be happy if the drug could be given to us at a subsidized rate to enable us buy and still have money to take care of our families.
The school fee, ane abe busuri, ane abe game yele ameton sunti, atemeton atenwanya ati atemeton kabe.
A view better recorded by the chief of Ko and laced with a passionate appeal to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to come to their aid.
Veterinary services are also costly to take care of them. So until they see that a cow is sick, they don't have the tendency to give it the proper treat, the proper feed, and then the maintenance for it to work more for them. Like the way it gets weak, they just allow it to rest more and go back to the farm. Yes, it would have been good that the agri sector, maybe these extension officers come to our aid. But with this side, it's difficult for them to come. They will come and they say that they don't have this, they don't have that. And it is difficult, even though they are there. Many farmers do not have the services of the agri extension officers. So maybe if they come to the aid of the block farmers.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Nandumko.
Now, Deputy Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Gifty Chum Ampofo, has assured Ghanaians that child beggars will be off the streets by September this year. Responding to concerns of the recent invasion by these child beggars on the streets of Accra, the Deputy Minister says her outfit has deployed social workers to collate the data of the children on the streets so as to possibly reunite them with their families and then enroll them on the necessary government program.
As of now, a questionnaire has been developed and the social welfare officials have started scouting our streets, which they're going to get all the children registered by administering the questionnaire. This will help them know their families and why they are on the street. If they're able to get all these children, one, they will send them back to their families, survey their background. Where the issue is solely poverty, you will enroll that very household on LEAP. That is, some amount of money will be given to the household depending on their numbers. And then this child will be enrolled back into the classroom. But trust you me, by September, most of those children will be in school. The question is, so are you going to see them on the street till September? No. We've started with the data, and too many things are going on. And we're sure by September we get a lot of them back to school.
However, noted, though the ministry hopes the data collection and reconciliation system will produce the desired results, the system has already encountered some challenges.
Challenge we have with this data on these street children and reuniting them into their families is that those who are a bit older and have stayed on the street for a couple of months, they've gotten used to this freedom way of life. And with Ghanaians' hospitality, everybody will give them money. So they realize on the street I have more than money than maybe at home. My mother had not seen that money before. Why then going back home? So these ones, they will end up giving you wrong information, false information about themselves. They may be just from Kaswa, people of Kaswa, I'm not saying that you are something else. Just Kaswa, or let's say Nyano, or let's say in Samwem, but they will tell you that their parents are far away in the northern region, Brunhaf region, Ashanti region, far away in the eastern region. So you realize that even though they've helped you to fill your questionnaire, but they were not truthful. So such individuals become very difficult to rehabilitate them.
Now, a former Deputy National Coordinator of the National Youth Employment Program, James Adongo, has today mounted a strong defense for his former boss, who is standing trial with another person for causing willful financial loss to the state, insisting the final approval for the payment of 4.1 million Ghana cedis was given by then Minister for Youth and Sport, Clement Kofi Humado. Former NYP Coordinator and for Ghana, Abuga Pele, is alleged to have recommended the said payment with a businessman, Philip Asibit, accused of putting in false claims. Mr. Adongo's testimony to an Accra High Court is in sharp contrast with what was given by Mr. Kofi Humado, who insisted he solely relied on advice by Mr. Pele to authorize the payment. The former deputy coordinator narrated the checks and balances that were in place during the time of the transaction, adding the former minister was involved at each stage. That's it for the news for now.